Alright, hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be doing, well, first, before I start anything, person, I will do what if Deku had a death note, eventually. I'm cooking up ideas on how it would work. I'm going to be changing the death note, how it functions. I'll be adding some stuff to make it a little more complicated so no one else will be able to use it. And also a way to make it to where Izuku can't die from using the Death Note and how he's going to get the Death Note. It's gonna take me a bit. I haven't seen Death Note, so don't need to worry about it. Anyway, if you couldn't tell already from the probably not the thumbnail, but the picture on the screen in the title, we're gonna be doing what if Deku had the ring of, I'm just gonna call it, of domination, or the second ring. You know, the one you get in Shadow of Mordor. Not Shadow of War, the game. You know, the one that Italian and God, I forget what the elf ghost thing is. I think that thing's an elf. Elf. I'm just gonna call it the Shadow Wraith. One sec. Anyway, sit. Ow. Anyway, the way I'm gonna do this is when Izuku is born, you know, Talion dies, right? You know, the Dark Lord or Sauron or the Witch King, you know, he's kind of dead. Although the Wraith or the Bright Lord or whatever his actual name is, leave it in the comments below if you know it, because I don't know it. I'm stupid. Okay? Just don't mind my idiocy. So he's running. Why do I always say that? It is mildly infuriating. I'm always trying to skip to the action bits when I'm trying to tell a story. It's annoying. That's some good water. Anyway, so when Izuku is born, you know, both of the ring. Actually, I need to look something up right quick. Let me go. I didn't know that. Oh, Izuku is also going to be able to craft the rings of power. So that means he's going to be able to have disciples, or he's able to just wear all 10 and then be almighty powerful. I don't know why Sauron didn't consider wearing other rings of power. Like, if he had, you know how he had the one ring? Why didn't he just put on all of them? Because I would think they would grant you extra power. I don't know. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I think if you, like, have multiple rings, you would get stronger with every ring you put on. It says it also grants invisibility. I don't know if it's an on-off switch, as if you wear it, you can turn off the invisibility and turn it back on. But if it's not like that, I'm gonna enable him to be able to flip it on and off. Power can manipulate. Power augmentation. I guess I could give him the power to like create abilities and give them away. Ooh, you know what? Just so no one else gains his power, I'm gonna say only he can wear the ring. If anyone puts it on, they're turning to dust. Like, they getting Thanos into non-existence. They getting dusted and rusted. It doesn't really matter though. Okay, so when he's born, I'm gonna give him Talion's ring too. You know, just cause. So the first string that was forged by the Wraith and Sauron. I'm gonna keep calling him the Wraith because I don't know his actual name. The Wraith is stuck inside of the ring that Talion and him made. Sauron is stuck in the other ring. You know, their souls are bound to those rings. If Izuku puts them both on, he gains both their powers. So he'll be able to do, like, Wraith magic and stuff. He'll also be able to, I don't know, create more rings of power and then give them to people and then control them. And he's able to do Sauron stuff. He's also able to dominate people's wills. Not only because of the ring Talion made, but because of the ring Sauron made, the first ring. I don't know how this works, but okay, I'm okay with it. I don't understand it. I've never seen Lord of the Rings, neither have I read the book, nor have I done literally. This is just confusing to me, okay? I don't understand the Lord of the Rings lore. I never could, and I probably never will. Oh, and he's also able to go to Middle Earth using the ring's powers. You know? So he can have an orc army. Look, if I'm gonna give him the ability to dominate people's will, I'm gonna give him the ability to get an army. Because that's the whole goal in Shadow of War. You know, get a big enough army to take out Sauron. That's the whole goal. Oh, spoiler alert. Anyway. Honestly, I'm still confused on why there's so many rings. Like, who would make that many rings? And why rings? Why not swords? I mean, I guess ring is highly concealable. Like, you can, like, when you're wearing gloves and you have the ring on, no one will be able to see it. I guess. I don't know. Oh, he's also able to use Sauron's magic, so he's also able to, like, detonate his followers. You know, with the green explosion ability. He's also able to heal them remotely with, like, the Wraith magic. So he's able to amplify their abilities, detonate them. He's able to alter anyone's abilities, detonate any of his followers, heal his followers, and he can also make them go insane. If they're stronger, if their will is stronger than his. He's also able to do whatever the Wraith can do. He can make the glaive, you know, he can forge anything. Okay, I'm just gonna give him the ability to forge anything. Except, yeah, he can forge anything, even souls. So he can imbue a set of armor with a soul to make it alive, and it will obey his will. He can also make, like, monsters out of metal. And he has the access to infinite materials because, you know, magic. Just because. Plot. Don't worry about it. Alright? I'm trying to make him as OP as I can. Alright? I know I'm in pretty much all my OPs. What ifs. He's pretty much very OP. But I'm going to say since he's a baby, he doesn't know how to use any of his abilities. You know, the rings just kind of not really become a necklace. Like a string. No, like a chain. Appears and links between the two rings and then wraps around Izuku. Not really wraps, but attaches itself to Izuku. He's also able to create magic items. Basically, items that he can make appear and disappear at will. You know, like the glaive and the bow. If you know, and the knives that you can throw in that game. If you know what I'm talking about, good on you. Good on you. Doesn't really matter anyway. Okay. So, what am I gonna do now? Let me think. Time skip. He's 5 now. So, you know, he's 5. He's like, hey, Mom, what are these rings? And his mom's like, what rings? Anyway, so, Izuku is like, huh, maybe I should just put them on. He gets, like, every time he looks at them, he gets, like, this sudden, like, urge to wear them. But he's able to overpower it because, come on, he's Izuku. His will is almost indomitable. His will can sway. Well, his willpower is unstoppable. I mean, if I gave this man the Green Lantern's ring instead of the Rings of Power, he'd pretty much be unstoppable. Okay, sorry, got distracted. I was helping my little sister or something. And woozy woozy doozy boozy. One day he runs into Bakugo. Bakugo has his quirk. Izuku, without the Rings of Power, does have a minor strength enhancement. Not like not minor, just a strength enhancement. It's pretty big strength enhancement. Thank you. Thank you. Here you go. You want me to have it? I don't want it. Thank you. Anyway, I'm busy. So, Izuku started walking towards Bakugo, and he's like, "Hey, Bakugo, my quirk says da 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 da." And Bakugo's like, "Huh, that's a weak quirk." Anyway, he's like, "No, it's not." And then Bakugo's like, "Sure." And then he walks off. He starts bullying the kid. Izuku runs up and he's like, "Stop!" He's protecting the kid. He gets ready for a fight. It's a 3v1. It's not going to be fair. Izuku is going to lose. Also, the kid he's protecting is Shigaraki. Shigaraki and, Yoki or... Yuki? Yeah, Yuki. That's her name. It's gonna be Shigaraki and Yuki. They're both gonna be villains here. Eventually. But, since Izuku's protecting them, they're like, huh, maybe there isn't all that bad in the world. And they're gonna remember Izuku. Izuku's gonna forget them eventually, because, he's gonna have a lot more on his mind than just 2 lives compared to the infinite amount he's going to have under his belt, pretty much. Ow, my arm. Anyway. Okay. So Izuku, he starts fighting, right? And I'm gonna say, somehow, the necklace breaks. And one of the rings, while, Izuku was about to grab one of them, one of the rings Yeah. Okay, he's about to, like, grab one of their shoulders and try to knee them. And while he's doing that, both of the rings slide onto his, like, pointer fingers. Izuku feels like this sudden surge of indomitable power. And he's like, whoa. You know, he starts feeling like, whoa, something weird's going on. You know, he starts glowing, like green and blue. He starts hearing two voices. And they're saying, how are we alive? You know, he's gonna be the Bright and Dark Lord. So, Dopey, what's the matter? Are you okay? Let me see. What happened? What happened? You are a bad little boy. Bad. Let it go. This is Sophie's. No. You're a bad boy. Don't hit me. Your little baby hands don't hurt. You're a little baby. Fine, I'll pick you up, but you better not screams. Sister. She's okay. So, yeah, Izuku starts. Stop it. So, you know, after both the rings slide on, his eyes, one of his eyes goes blue, the other one green. Well, it glows green, the other one starts glowing blue. So he's like, oh, this feels good. You know, he says that out loud and he starts laughing. Hold on. Anyway. So yeah. Izuku, you know, he's angry. You know, he's angry. He's one angry little boy. He's like, oh, you messed up. You know, and I'm gonna say, he starts wailing. Like, he starts kicking butt. Because now it's an even 3v3. You know, when someone goes to, I'm gonna say when Bakugo goes to explode him on his left side, you know, Sauron kind of appears for a split second as a green ghost. You know how the Wraith does it, you know. He appears and knocks Bakugo back with a simple swing, like on a backhand. You know, it's just a quick. Okay, right? And then when one of the, you know, and then Izuku runs up to Bakugo, and he's a lot faster now. He's got the power of, I think, he's got the skill of a whole. Oh, he's got a lot of power and a lot of skill. What do you want? It's okay. Open it. Don't hit me. Do you want a bottle? Do you want a refill? Alrighty. Anyway, well, what should I do? Running out of ideas already. No, I'm just kidding. I got plenty of ideas, bro. You don't even know. Anyway. I'm gonna say when he runs off to go hit Bakugo again. You know, the guy with the extendo finger thingies. Tries to hit him on his right side. You know, the Shadow Wraith appears. And, backhand hits him with the blunt end of his sword. Knocking the guy out. Somehow, like, Bakugo's goons are unconscious, but somehow Bakugo's still awake. And Izuku runs up and is like, you really want to catch these hands again? And Bakugo's like, shut up, nerd. And then passes out. Because he just got backhanded by Sauron. Sauron is Sauron. Look, I may not know my Lord of the Rings, but Sauron is Sauron. You know, in the games, he's a major pain in the... Not only is he a major pain, but he does... I haven't fought him yet. I don't think you fight him. You know, the Shadow... The Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War games. I don't know yet. I haven't played Shadow of Mordor, and I haven't beat Shadow of War yet. Anyway, you know, Izuku was like, alright. Well, that was successful. You know, the rings, they stop glowing, and so do his eyes. And Sauron and the Shadow Wraith, they're like, huh, this kid has some massive potential. Anyway. So yeah, Izuku, you know, he says, are you two okay? You know, they're like, we're fine. Are you okay? He says, yeah, I'm good. You know, they start talking. They come home. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I keep getting distracted. Anyway, So, you know, it's a few months later. Yeah, you know, it's like a few years later, like 10 years. No, how old did I say he was? I said it was like 5. So yeah, 10 years. He's 15 now. I'm gonna say Inko, you know, kind of kicked the bucket, just because she was killed in the All for One versus All Might in Dente. Look, I have to give him somewhere way to get to Mordor without anyone worrying about him. Watch out, Duder man. Let her shut the door. Alright, Okay. So, while Izuku was sleeping one day, You know, he started having visions of Mordor. You know, he started having, like, you know, while he's sleeping, he's like, huh, this is a really nice place. I wish I could go there. You know, Sauron? 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 I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. The Dark Lord and the Bright Lord. That's what I'm going to call him. The Dark Lord's like, well, Bright, should we do this? And Bright's like, well, it would grant us access to build an army again. And plus, with us on the same side, that means we'll be able to take over Mordor more efficiently. Because I'm going to say since, you know, they're kind of stuck in this kid's body, they don't really have a choice but to get along. Because if they don't get along, you know, they're going to drive each other crazy. Thank you, Duty. Anyway. Sorry. I ran into a door, so I punched it. And I punched it again because it hurt. I am psychic. I am psychotic. Anyway. You know, Izuku, while he's just doing his thing, you know, he's just sleeping. Thank you. Can you shut it and leave it shut, please? Thank you. Yes, please. Good, good. No. Yes, whatever. Thank you. So anyway, Izuku, after being done, you know, when he wakes up, he's like, you know, he sees, only he can see Sauron or the Dark Lord. He's the only one who can see the Dark Lord and the Bright Lord. You know who they are. Dark Lord is Sauron, Bright Lord is Shadow Wraith, or whatever his actual name is. I don't think we ever found out. I think we might have, but I just don't remember. If I don't remember, if I ever find out, y'all gonna have to, like, you know, I'll have to find a way to plug my Discord, because then I'm gonna have to get into a call with one of y'all, if y'all know it, and then y'all gonna have to tell me how to pronounce it, because I suck at pronunciations. If you couldn't tell already, by means you're probably incorrectly pronouncing Sauron. Anyway, you know, he's like, who are you two? And, you know, they introduce themselves. They're like, we're from that place that you found beautiful, and we would come to ask you if you wish to go there. If so, we have some weapons for you that should help you. If you wish to become stronger, then you would want to build an army. If you control Mordor, then you can possibly rule this world as well. You know, Izuku's like, you know, ruling an entire country is like Middle Earth, as in an entire world. And Izuku, you know, he goes wide-eyed and he's like, I can rule a planet? And, you know, they're like, yeah, with our influence, you can rule anything. Izuku, you know, he ponders the idea of him ruling an entire planet. And he's like, are there any other planets that have sentient life? And, you know, since they've been around, they know what Izuku knows. And they're like, possibly. We can get the orcs and all the other races to build spacecrafts. We have to use magic as fuel, though. Izuku's like, oh yeah, I'm about to be a universal lord. Let's go. Now, they say, well, whose name are you going to take? You going to take the Bright Lord or the Dark Lord? Izuku's like, I'll take the Universal Lord. And, they're like, huh, that's pretty creative. Wish I would have taken that name. But oh well. And, they warp him to Mordor, because I'm going to say, they can use the rings to interchange between the planets. So, when Izuku walks into Mordor, he's like, holy crap, this place is beautiful. He's carrying a sword, a dagger. He's got Elvish. He's got all the abilities you get in every game. He can call Charles. One of you knows who Charles is. I also call him Craig. One of y'all knows who Craig is. If you do, leave a comment below. Craig, and if you want to know who Craig is, basically, think of a giant, but bigger, with teeth the size of a human, and claws the size of a house. And this, Craig, can breathe fire. Yeah, one of you knows about this, because you're my PlayStation friend. You know who you are. Hey! Drink it. Yes.
No.
Yes. I'm gonna take it. No. Drink your bottle. Drink your bottle. So, Izuku's like, alright, so what is the most quick and efficient way of taking over the planet? I'm gonna say it's been a really long, not really a really, really, really long time, but when Sauron and him died, I'm gonna say they can travel through time using the rings, so it won't really matter how long Izuku's gone. Well, it will matter, because they can travel to any point in history after they died. So they can't go back to the point where there's two dark and two bright lords. That'd be confusing. Instead, they can only travel back to after that. So they travel to the point a few days before they died. After they died. And they were like, okay, so no, it's been a year. It's been a year in Mordor. So they're confused, like, alright, so how do we Zuko's like, alright, so how do we take over the world? And then go take over more planets. Izuku, stop spilling your bottle everywhere. That's a bad boy. You can't hit me. You're too tiny. You are tiny. You cannot touch me. I am stronger than you. You are small. I am big. Yeah, you don't like that. Don't say that. So, Izuku, the Bright and Dark Lord are like, huh. Maybe if you use a combination of our powers, you can take over the entire planet with a single swing of your hand. Nukizuki's like, oh, this gonna be fun. So, he starts lifting both hands. Both of his hands, his right arm starts glowing. It starts, doing the wraith thing. His left arm does, it starts getting covered in Sauron's armor. The other one starts turning into the wraith arm. You know what I'm talking about if you played Shadow of Mordor. He lifts the left one up. And, while he's raising it, the ring, the gem that's in the one ring, starts releasing black and green smoke. It starts spreading real quick. And, instead of it being black, he grabs his left arm with his right hand and starts transferring energy into the hand, which then causes the black in the smoke to turn white. So now it's white and green smoke. And now the smoke is moving even faster. It's moving at It's covering the planet quick. Everyone's like, what's going on? You know, everyone's confused. You know, all the beasts don't know what's going on because their animal sensors are like, alright, nothing out of the ordinary. You know, both of his eyes start, you know, releasing the energy. You know, they start, you know how Sans does it where, okay, you know how some drawings of Sans have his eyes like releasing like a blue fire? Yeah, one of his eyes is releasing blue, the other one releasing green. You know what I mean. Alright, moving forward. You know, and he says, planetary domination. You know, he spins the glaive around. And with both of his hands, you know, it starts glowing with all, like, green, black, white, and blue. And he stabs it into the ground. And, you know, a banner that says, I am. And then has the you know, it has a head of a dragon. And, you know, Sauron, like an armor from Sauron. And then, you know, an arm from the Shadow Race, just because, you know, kind of, you know, comes out of it. And then all the area of smoke just condenses and then explodes. Not really explodes, but it releases the energy so condensed. It condenses all of the energy, then releases it. You know, since everyone was breathing it in without realizing it, you know, all of them have become dominated. Now, yeah, that was a quick and easy way. He's only able to do that in the Middle Earth world, because there's plenty of magic in Middle Earth. He can't do that in his world. He can only dominate one person at a time, like he can do in the games. Because I want to give him, you know, I want to make him OP in Middle Earth. And then he's like, alright, all of you serve the Lord of Yin and Yang. Because I'm Gentry, not Universal Lord, the Lord of Balance. The Lord of Yin and Yang. Because, you know, the Dark Lord has a piece of the White Lord, the White Lord has a piece of the Dark Lord. You know what I mean. They were technically brothers, I considered at one point. I think they were brothers. I don't know. I'm not good with Middle Earth lore. Correct me in the comments, please, because I am dumb. Anyway, continuing forward, you know. Izuku's like, alright. He snaps his fingers. You know, everyone comes a-running to where he was. And it worked on everything. Every living creature. Even Karen. You know, even the freaking Belrog was not safe from his power. Nothing was safe. Alright, so the forest, life and death, life as in Charon, you know, the forest lady you meet in Shadow of War, the Belrog, which I already said, you know, is death, all of the orcs, all of the dwarves, all the elves, which I think are still alive, and if they're not, I'm gonna make them alive now, and they're gonna be way better at magic, you know, the humans, everything. You know, so they all come running to Izuku, and they're like, we obey our master. It doesn't matter what they would do. Even, like, babies. Everything except for babies. You know, people just carried the babies. So they could meet the Lord. And he's like, alright, you know. He starts glowing with Sauron and the Dark Lord and the Bright Lord's energy. He's like, alright, I have a plan. I've always wanted to rule a planet. But why not be a multiversal, a multiplanetary ruler? How would you like to join me on my universal conquest? And they say, whatever you need, our Lord. So, Izuku's already, since the Dark Lord and the Bright Lord, they taught him everything they knew about his world, their world. And so I'm just going to say they transferred the information just to make it easier so I don't have to explain. So he's already figured out a way to build spaceships and stuff. Create a easier way to make portals to his world. In a way, ways to travel between dimensions and stuff. Hey! Stop it! So, Izuku, he's like, alright. I want you, wait! Hey! Don't hit her. You shall cry. Don't hit me. Shall cry. So, Izuku, he shows them the blueprint, and they're all like, okay, this is manageable. They start building it, and it's taking, like normal time it would take a skyscraper to be built. Yeah, it takes under half that time to build a whole fleet of these ships. So they start taking off. Izuku's in the king, the leadership, which is bigger than the rest. Hey, can I put you down, please? No, you love me too much? You're mean. Let me shut the door. Let me shut the door. If you want it open, then stay down. Anyway. I'm not picking you up if the door is open. I'm gonna beat your little baby butt. Alright. So anyway, Izuku was doing, after Izuku was done, he's like, alright, take off, now. He takes one of the swords he had and stabs it into the rock. That like a control rock, because I'm gonna say they specially built this spaceship so only he could pilot it. And by far, it has the strongest defenses and offensive abilities. He's like, alright, we move forward. Now! He starts releasing enough magic that could probably kill everything in Mordor. No, I'm just kidding. He just starts releasing a buttload of magic, though, in order to make the thing move. So since it started up, he starts pulling the sword back, which causes it to start flying. And he's like, alright. He puts it on autopilot, he takes the sword out, he spins it around and shoves it back on his back. And then he, what does he do? I forget. At the first, I'm gonna say that he's created tanks that can withhold, the magic mist. And he can make infinite amounts of it. The black, green, blue, and white mist. Anyway. Hey! I'm gonna beat their butts. They are bad little babies. Not really, though. So anyway. What else do I want to do? Sorry, I keep getting distracted and I'm dumb. So, Izuku, while he was just chilling out in his chair, I'm gonna say he's still releasing the smoke. And he has nearly infinite magic. He can pull from the source of all magic. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Since he's, still building up more and more smoke, it's getting transferred between ships because I'm gonna say, after one ship is full of containers, after his ship is full up on containers that hold the mist. By the way, one container is enough for a whole planet. There's like hundreds of containers. So that means he's about to control all of the life. I could just made it to where he released it straight into outer space, but that would be too broken. I have to give him a little bit of time. So yeah, we're gonna do a time skip. He's at 20. It's only been 2 years in the My Hero world, but it's been a lot longer in this world. So he's like around in his like 30s. He's conquered most of the galaxy. He's conquered almost 90% of the universe. He's conquered 90%. 99.9% of the galaxy. All of the universe. That version, Milky Way. So he's like, alright, so how am I... Where's this last planet? They find it, and they realize it's inhabited by monsters way stronger than anything they've ever seen before. They land, and Izuku walks onto the ground. Yes, this is the symbiote planet. His entire army is about to get he's about to add an army of symbiotes to his ranks. The planet is made of symbiotes, so she'll cry. He's like, alright, this place is mine. Since they serve a hive mind, it's really easy to just take control of them all. Alright, they all go into like mini containers on the ship. And then, sit down. Dopey. How are you? You doing good? Anyway, I'm sorry about that. That was cringe. I'm bored. Anyway, so Izuku, he takes over the Clintar. The Lord of the God of Symbiotes or whatever. He's dead because why not? So yeah, he has full control over the entire the whole Middle Earth universe is under his thumb. And he's considered multi-universal travel. But imagine, then he realizes how much magic that would take. He's still considering it. He has a whole bunch of people working on it. You know, the smartest people in the galaxy working on it. The smartest people in that entire universe working on figuring out a way to do multi-universal travel that would take a minimal amount of energy or magic. So he's like, alright, I've conquered everything here. There's nothing left for me to do. You know, everyone's like, but boss, are you leaving? And he's like, don't worry, I'll come back. Listen though, you all will obey my call. And I'm gonna say, because it's it's the Dark Lord and the Bright Lord's abilities, the will manipulation, the will control, is a lot stronger. I'm gonna say, he says like, alright, I will, alright. He points at the Balrog. He's like, if I ever need you, you will come. And he points at his strongest ogre. The strongest alien, which I'm gonna say is an Uruk or an orc. It's a lot stronger than anything else in the multiverse. It's almost as strong as the Balrog. Don't do that. Then stop pouring it all over yourself, you little weirdo. Weirdo. Don't say that. That's a bad word. Anyway. So Izuku, he pretty much says, alright, if I ever need you, you will obey my call and appear before me. Da 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 da. He points to a whole legion, which is the strong, his warmongers, his war tribe that he uses the most, and they are the strongest. If somehow someone resists the will control, it's like, alright, I'm gonna need you and you to take care of them. Because, they have to be strong if they resist his will control, and he doesn't feel like fighting. He's learned how to fight. He knows every ability. He can summon whatever he wants. This guy is OP. Hey! What are you doing? What are you doing, you bad little baby? Anyway. So yeah. He opens a portal back to his world, which only takes a snap of his fingers. He walks through. He's back in his room. And in all actuality, no. You keep pouring it everywhere. I'm not going to give it to you if you keep pouring it everywhere. Lord. So, yeah. He goes back to his world. It's been 3 years. He's 18 now. So he's like, oh, so I'm 18. That explains why I was aging so slowly. My time is still connected to this world. It's like, this is cool. So essentially, I'm immortal. I am biologically immortal. Which is really weird when you think about it. I mean, would you rather have immortality to a certain thing, be a biologically immortal? Anyway. So, Izuku is pretty much... He's like, alright, maybe I can go to UA now. So, you know, he goes to UA, he passes. I'm just gonna skip over the entrance exam, because no one really cares. No one saw him at all. Only Nezu and Deadeye saw him. Because why not? Deadeye. Deadeye is cool. You know, Izuku is like, alright. You know, he makes the blade appear and he cuts. Oh, he kills pretty much all of the robots. He dominates a few of them. Since he realizes he can't dominate them. Oh, I forgot about a whole power I gave him. So yeah. You know, he's forged rings before. He even forged his own sword that grants him the ability. You know, he's forged armor, swords, automatons. You name it, he made it. Alright? Anyway. So yeah, Izuku, after seeing the 0 pointer, is like, huh. Alright. This thing's about Belrock sized. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. You know, he gets a little excited. Because, I mean, he hasn't fought anything as big as a Belrog since he fought the Belrog. Hey! Don't hit me. You know, baby hits don't hurt. Dummy. You mock yourself in your face, you little dummy. Anyway. So yeah. You know, Zuko's like, alright. Belrog. You know, no. He's like, Belrog. And then a thundering boom. And then a gigantic portal appears. Like the size of the 0 pointer appears behind Izuku. He's like, exterminate. You know, if he wants to summon something, he has to snap. If he wants something to attack a certain target, he has to snap and point at the target. And say, attack. He has to have some limitations. If he can't talk, he can't really summon anything. But if he wants the summon point to be precise, he has to snap. If it's not precise, if he doesn't snap, they could just randomly appear in the middle of a street somewhere. They'll know where he is, but they'll be seen by a whole bunch of people. So, you know, the Belrog gets out of the portal and is like, alright boss, who I gotta kill, and how do you want me to kill him? I want you to take this